Get the hell on with it. Get the hell on with it. Get the hell on with it.
Writers, artists, musicians, and scholars nurturing that tender little plant called Canadian culture.
And they've been chosen not because they're super, but because they possess the best obtainable combination of an immense range of skills,
a high-level chimpanzee that was going along as a biological experiment.
It will sound to you crazy. And if it does not sound to you crazy, that is a sure sign that you have not started to understand what we are talking about.
Lyricistic fibrosis.
But why will you say that I'm mad? The disease had sharpened my senses, not destroyed, not dulled them. Above all was the sense of hearing acute. Now, this is the point. You fancy me mad. Madmen know nothing, but you should have seen me. You should have seen how wisely I proceeded, with what caution, with what foresight, with what dissimulation I went to work. And now, have I not told you that what you mistake for madness is but an over-acuteness of the senses?
Hey, you! You listening to this record, wake up! How would you like to be real monsters?
Are we going to tell them the secret way to be a monster?
Sure, they're good kids.
Well, all right, these are all very secret monster things.
I always knew my neighbor was a little bit weird, not into personally or even the way he appeared. Just something peculiar I could not pick out. I think doubts inside me made nothing stick out. His house was gloomy with shadows in the sunlight, cobwebs in his porch and the paint job wasn't done right. Chips of flake extracted away due to time and weather. Never was he out in the day, his mind was not together. I believed him to be a non-social, self-indulged average Joe, but now I realize he's just another unpredictable psycho. You see, he had a little rusty old shed in his backyard where he said he kept his tools and garden equipment. In fact, hard evidence made me think that he was lying. In the present tense, I'm glad his bullshit I wasn't buying. My bedroom window faced the spooky little shack, and at 3 in the morning I would see him out back. What the hell did he need with tools at that time of the night? Even as a little kid I knew that something wasn't right. Now I had a motive to be investigative. I told my 3 close friends and this is what we did. We hid at my house until my neighbor was done. His nightly routine was over and the plan began with step 1. Creep over to his yard without making a peep, to make sure we don't awake my deranged neighbor from his sleep. Head straight to the shed and carefully pick the lock. But once we got inside, we all had quite the shock. Sure, the tools were there, but this was not a shed. I felt I was deceived by the lies I was fed. The walls were filled with monkeys that were already dead. There was 3 microphones, turntables, and a computer instead. We were misled to believe what he had previously said, but then a brilliant idea came to my head. I see a great future for the place in which we stand. We'll tell my neighbor we'll keep it a secret with only one demand, and that being that he allows us access to his sacred place. But after I told him we knew, I seen the hatred on his face. He flipped, man, totally went bizarre. He fully tripped and I think he went too far. He locked us in the basement and injected us with serum. After several doses we began to fear him. My eardrum caught everything he had ever spoke. I was scared as hell, I felt like there was no hope. My whole physical structure reorganized itself. I changed into a grotesque monster metamorphosized to filth. And when I looked at my friends, they had also been affected. The disease was in our blood and we were terminally infected. But for some odd reason our mentality was enhanced. The band released us from captivity and said in advance, you wanna be monsters from the Toolshed? Well, here's your chance. He took us out back, allowed us to lay down a track. We went nuts with the equipment. As a matter of fact, we made music that made brains splatter from the impact. And now we continuously do this on every occasion. Messages more graphic than Resident Evil for PlayStation. Cause I'm MC Barcode, a compulsive bombs, I'll be patient. Cause I'm MC Barcode, I live calmly cause I'm ancient. Cause I'm MC Barcode, scam me at the counter with radiation. Yes, I'm MC Barcode, and that's enough of my conversation.
Good night. Mommy, what is it now, Joe? Could you leave a while? Could you leave a while?
Implanted nightmares, monsters from the Toolshed. Chanted fright scares haunting you on cool ed. Granted light and past nothing but the cruel bread. Warning fools dead in pools of red. Beware! Implanted nightmares, monsters from the Toolshed. Chanted fright scares haunting you on cool ed. Granted light and past nothing but the cruel bread. Warning fools dead in pools of red. Beware!
It looked as if it was capable of feeding on human flesh. It was impossible that such an awful being should be let loose upon the world. I confess that I would have gladly voted for the creature's destruction.
So now I become a monster and a human's daydream. Their ears hear the fear in their eyes they cannot see. The lies they cannot read. Through their lives they do believe that the minds they do conceive the forwarded monster prophecy. But the imagination behind a creation is the mystery. Implanting innovation, contemplation, ingenuity. They see what we see in a scenic, surreal scenery. The reality is twisted so they won't abuse the energy. The power the planet holds underneath the scenes. The underground unfolds our animal community. In control, controlling through these monster philosophies that are possibly the lost links to the improbability of life on Earth and Earth's life after death. So make that last mess and take that last breath and press up on that last breast and get that last sex. And we'll gobble up the galaxy until nothing's left. With no rest we'll progress and witness the flow that's taking over the Milky Way until we grow next. It's a cycle of space, and when we're properly placed adjacent to a foreign race, we'll see how the brain tastes. The juices are primo, like pasta is real though. As I devour their info, I trip like Mescalito.
Beware, prepare, fasten your seatbelt. We'll be traveling at a speed when you enter your seat. No, frightening as it may seem, this is not a dream. This is your reality, tearing at the seam with more horror than you've seen. Staring at a screen, you can't even scream, you're just glaring at the scene. It's the monster with 4 heads under your bed, armed with a chainsaw from inside the shed. Relish every minute, cause in 5 you're dead. Time's up, I cut your gut and spill the lies you've been fed. Growing up, they told you monsters didn't exist. One breath before your death, the truth was witnessed. Late at night, after the sun goes down, the living dead rise from the underground and wander around, hunting for our next victim. I sharpen my teeth with a rock that I segment. Jaw knee depth, knee deep in appendages, with bolts out my neck, body wrapped in bandages. Some try and stop me, but no one ever manages. Being immortal sure has its advantages. Chance to live forever, this kid strikes back, dead at 10, then back again for a midnight snack. I raid your fridge like a gremlin, got you trembling. You know we met before, you can't remember when. Present time, different state of mind. Use my double to trouble all of humankind. It keeps on getting better cause we keep on keeping at it. Proud to be a member of the monsters from the attic.
Implanted nightmares, monsters from the Toolshed. Chanted fright scares haunting you on cool ed. Granted light impairs nothing but the cruel bread. Warning fools dead in pools of red. Beware! Implanted nightmares, monsters from the Toolshed. Chanted fright scares haunting you on cool ed. Granted light impairs nothing but the cruel bread. Warning fools dead in pools of red. Beware!
But our conversation was so morbid and concerned such dismal things that I brought it to a conclusion and went to bed. The room was practically in total darkness, but sleep touched not my bed. For over and over in my mind I had turned the grotesque talk we had just completed.
You know when you have that creative urge, whether you're sitting at home or on the bus going to work or at work for that matter, you get a creative urge to draw a picture or write a poem or perhaps build a castle out of cards. Well, this time the impulse has hit me and I'm about to hit the rhyme. Whether late at night or 3 in the afternoon, I feel urges as an impulse surges to bloom. Whether late at night or 3 in the afternoon, I feel urges as an impulse surges to bloom. You see that impulse has many faces that switch at random. This time I chose to write, next time I draw a picture of a phantom. The impulse switch is sure to propose its anthem at any period of time. You'd think that I chose to write this rhyme, but I didn't. For if this creative mind was sitting drawing a picture of a line, I'd make a mistake and sketch a triangle disconnected from time. I'm on a path as poetry rolls off my tongue. Writer's block could suck my cock, cause when I talk I'm one crafty person. I have to be to get my message across, so what you're learning. When I toss a fast lesson that I earned in the past, guess when? Never mind, I endeavor in my mind, so I teach myself to reach my health. Mentally has 2 brains, and each are strange. One is labeled sane, the other one's the same. But when I put one in the other, you have sane, insane. Oh brother, what do I have to gained by trying to explain undercover allies as Toolshed spreads a potent word. My pals and I are quoting no one that we've ever heard. Creative testosterone has been fused through the microphone, pre-written with the pen that'll postpone puberty and stall you at an 8 o'clock shadow. Who is it me? Exquisitely I sit and write interesting combos even though no one really gives a shit. I own 3 sketchbooks and no longer will they fit. The impulse in every word I speak, I admit it's the opposite of false. You're not going by your gut feeling, so your stomach rots like an ulcer. I live off of living, confused by its ways, but I show you what I've gathered by putting my artwork on display. Whether late at night or 3 in the afternoon, I feel urges as an impulse surges to bloom. Whether late at night or 3 in the afternoon, I feel urges as an impulse surges to bloom. Come down to the auction where every single word is free. Brushstrokes on the canvas emphasize the sides of me. Epitome of the artsy type. I arise to be innovative with positive parts of the life I live. Parts I adore and brains I caress. The pigment blended to a masterpiece. The best I have released off my work desk at least. I work diligently into the early hours. The due date is past, but I meet the deadline, and now your head finds the paperwork. Stapled as I smirk at the fact that I have succeeded in being finished. Running on empty, but still plenty ideas are replenished. After one night of sleep, I perfect more art than the Guinness Book of World Records. Yeah, more than one object in my private exhibit. Complex sculptures as my hands precisely fidget. It's hard to have this skill, making the bars of madness into still life fashion. Using watercolors as I'm splashing, my biceps are sore. Bending and reshaping, I accept the final product in store. You're now in tune with a music that's an art. The impulse makes me well underway after I start. Maybe tomorrow I'll draw a picture of you with 14 legs and only 12 shoes, and I'll make you look better than you actually do. Playing some sort of instrument like a didgeridoo. Next in line is a large-scale mural, finished in one day, so I write a poem about the world. Plural worlds with an S.
Stands for strange.
My trademark exists on other planets in the monster nest. The bond of the shed is about to infest. For Renaissance artists in seance. You're listening to one now, switching all of his fonts. Script, bold, underline, my mind is a maze. I live off of living, confused by its ways, but I show you what I've gathered by putting my artwork on display. Whether late at night or 3 in the afternoon, I feel urges as an impulse surges to bloom. Whether late at night or 3 in the afternoon, I feel urges as an impulse surges to bloom. Whether late at night or 3 in the afternoon. Whether late at night or 3 in the afternoon, I feel urges as an impulse surges to bloom. Whether late at night or 3 in the afternoon, I feel urges as an impulse surges to bloom.
Here is displayed the nation's superb collection of paintings by Canadian artists.
What's going on here? What's the diagnosis? What's the diagnosis? What's the diagnosis?
The diagnosis, choke is ferocious, you know this.
Fibrosis about to blossom like a lotus.
We're never losing focus, cause that will be atrocious.
Check the verbs as we demote this.
Expanding like a blowfish.
Keep your eyes peeled and we will show this.
The diagnosis.
The diagnosis.
I'm taking shots in the dark with infrared vision. Vocals to your dome on a course of collision. When it hits, let your body flow to the audio. While I provide the visuals, performing analytical rituals on weak-minded individuals. Suffering succotash, these suffering suckers trash talking. So now to the curb I'm walking, taking you out weekly as I seek thee and only speak thee. Truth unheard by the untrained ear and unseen as thoughts disappear in the clear. If you've seen it on Dateline or heard it through the grapevine, you need your own styles when you make rhymes. Don't try to take mine or I'll have a great time engaging in battles at a stage in my travels. getting out of any mess. A penny for your thoughts and now you're penniless. Lost in the midst of your egocentric fits. Evil men exist and I can't resist. Eradicating enemies, fabricating remedies, using strength and serenity, creative energy. Ergo, I tear flows like shooting fish in a barrow, or taking candy from an infant, cause it only takes an instant to extinct. MCs that start bugging, I inject your hide with insecticide. Give respect to high, dark side, Mowgli sober. Rebose as I pass the mic over.
The diagnosis, Rebosis standing strong like kids in b-boy poses.
Chokeules dropping lines in lethal doses.
We got poppin' fizz like we was sodas,
and powers just like Yoda's.
Rebosis gonna coast this
fresh like ashtrays that be smokeless.
The diagnosis, but I'm over it. Like the Great Wall of China, I'm climbing. Finder the findings and timer of that which needs timing, like rhyming. Making sure I have the proper cadence for the stated sentence for the ears that I went this. Making sure it has a proper complement to the beat laid down by the 5 Knights, the Round Table, the Fable, Toolshed. Not fooling when we're doing, but drooling in a couple years plus 80 when the clock is ticking down. The cranium's thicking round the temples, and symbols aren't so simple. And I'm the one-armed man sought by Richard Kimball. And I've aged like a Chardonnay, so you'll have to pardon me. For your face is reminiscent, but I can't quite place it. And I'll be like, where the hell my glasses go? And I would like to place a request for Tombstone in the second row before I'm letting go of my last breath, the beginning of my first death. And I still haven't finished my stodgy old man lessons, but I gotta be confessing, I still got time before the great unwind. And so I find mine in the present, and I present it in the 11th hour before the jet ends to hit full power, and I tower to the coast. Rebose. The diagnosis is Rebose and Choke kids. You need to quote this, cause we agree are hopeless. The diagnosis, it's Rebose and Choke kids. You need to quote this. Homicides are the dopest.
What's going on here? What's the diagnosis? What's the diagnosis? What's the diagnosis?
There's an exception to every rule, so for mine I'll use a tool. Not for building home improvement, but for rapid rhythm movement. Contractors start to stammer when I wield my vocal hammer. I'm the henchman of the ranch, Black and Decker workbench. No concept of time, with a chemical imbalance. I'm a sick cracker street mime with more than ample talents. Four co-foreman, deforming while Ben plays dormant. With a few minor details, some well-placed nails. We construct a dreamscape where you go to escape. Imagination runs rampant, you can read it in my pamphlet. And heads nod in hard hats from boom baps. There's an exception to every rule, so for mine I'll use a tool. Not for building home improvement, but for rapid rhythm movement. Exception to every rule, so for mine I'll use a tool. Not for building home improvement, but for rapid rhythm movement. Act sensibly, it's not wizardry, or could it be? Comprehensively, offensively presenting the eulogy. Apprehensively you flee, my intensity seems heaven sent, and you agree. Start to repent and then you will see. To prevent this easily avoidable tragedy, devoid of all capacity for rationality, pure insanity, commanding me to waste my time building sacred shrines, using twisted rhymes for the peace of mind and the hopes to find an escape route to reap fruits of my labors. I'm the ape savior with the cattle taser, graze you with a laser for snake-like behavior. Yo, it's Buck Rogers, deep thought dislodger, scud missile dodger with a gut full of lager. There's an exception to every rule, so for mine I'll use a tool. Not for building home improvement, but for rapid rhythm movement. Exception to every rule, so for mine I'll use a tool. Not for building home improvement, but for rapid rhythm movements. Rapid rhythm.
Setback. Just another setback. Just another setback. Just another setback. Just another setback. Setback. Just another setback. Just another setback. Just another setback. Setbacks arise with conflict as a friend. Both are at your back and about to begin. Teasing you, even if life is pleasing you. Within a flash, it's squeezing you like a lemon. Fast to be condemning your life as a crash. Quick to affect you harshly in your future or your past. I stepped into the light after an 8-hour shift. Moved into a box to give the day a special lift. As I drift through streets of the city, I admit, start feeling departed like my mind had split. A pounding drum thumped his beat till all thoughts were amiss. I figured it was no beef, now my thoughts constantly trip. Called up Tommy Organ with intentions to hang. He said, Wendy's at 8 in Canadian slang. I showed up on time to hit the beer store, but dang, Cyborgs was an hour late, his neck I could have rang. Kicked off the shoes, the snooze, but it was no use. There was a leak in the roof, forming uncomfortable torture. A Chinese water special when I couldn't restore the order. Decided to sleep, but wept when I awoke and realized that my bed was now afloat. Just another setback. 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 Showed up at work and I've been working all week. Putting in overtime, no time to take a seat. Getting paid on Friday, I haven't missed a beat. Can't wait to get my check and get some groceries to eat. Friday rolls around, I hit a bank on the street. They say the check's invalid and they call me a cheat. Fairy tales, I tells. There's a little spell to growl these monsters. They're conquerors of the night. The scripture I read aloud in the Toolshed, oh so proud and vowed, never to tell the soul of the aftermath or of the sight. In a flash of light, I was consumed and resumed a beast, and got hooked up with a beauty that was 3 years deceased. Found the girl of my dreams and I'm totally satisfied. Every time we touch lips, I feel electrified. All of a sudden it wasn't working, but we tried and tried. Times were tough, we'd act like it hadn't died. We hadn't applied feelings from deep down inside. One day she left me without me being notified. I spent my life preparing for the bitter end. Built myself a rocket ship for the Earth's descent. Dispensed my thoughts, going days without rest. When the world caught my thoughts, it was bundled up with stress. The tension was released, that's when people tend to retreat. And animals began to speak and walk upon their feet. They relieved us of control, the human race was the fuel. A module is a tool I decided to use to escape. But when I exit the solar system, my ship disintegrates. And that's what Toolshed calls a twist of fate.
5-day week,
full of school, exposed to lectures and ridicule. With the weekend approaching, I stop boasting like a fool. Got a liver filled with alcohol, I'm acting super cool. It's late at the bar and I'm popped on the stool. Try to pick up a chick, but I run out of fuel. I barf on myself and start to drool. She walks away and I think how cruel.
Always relying on the liquid crystal display. Gotta wake up at 6:30, by 7 I'm on my way. I awake at 12 noon, all to my dismay. My alarm clock had slept in, so asleep I had laid. This world is dangerous, and this I must convey. Cause setbacks backset you, but everything's okay. Cause setbacks backset you every single day. Don't mean to upset you, but that's the world's way. I'm just here to let you know that setbacks backset you. Setbacks backset you. Just another setback. 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 Setback.
Fisherman's tale, I wish a man well when I set sail.
Farewell to the fish biting ship from the underground. Took the bait too late, now you're hooked on the thunder sound.
I wander around in storms of lightning. The quickest ray of light never strikes twice when enlightening.
What it might bring could be frightening.
Red sky at night is a fisherman's delight, right?
Red sky in the morning is a fisherman's warning. And if a man's wanting to sleep, stop dreaming. Cause now it's time to call the SWAT team in.
Choke, cyborg, double O, just what we got. Alcoholic tendencies tend to be flowing like an ocean breeze. Had a couple of discrepancies and you're lost.
At sea, but you're seasick, and I'll be quick to throw you overboard. Cause I'm the overlord with the parrot on my shoulder making you walk the plank.
Never will you hear that this ship sank with more tools to dish than schools got fish. Fools lost with the mangled motion. Poetry in commotion with notions more potent than any potions floating over oceans of sound waves with the sound that you crave. Poetry in commotion with notions more potent than any potions floating over oceans of sound waves with the sound that you crave.
Down to the grave, death or last breath, I'm still deaf with plenty of life left. Johnny Depp in full scuba gear, barehanded, fighting sharks, I don't need a spear. I wreck phonics like tectonic plates. You can't anticipate the aftershock I create. Cause each time I speak lines, I reach minds. When I'm in the cut, I refine. Then sit back and chit chat, leaving impressions on your cranium. Dodging verbal blows no matter where you're aiming them. If I was a deck of cards, you still couldn't play me. 1/7 of a week and you could not daze me. A hill in the winter and you couldn't slay me. A period in your life and you still couldn't face me. If you were a labyrinth, you still wouldn't amaze me. Trapped on the inside, slowly going crazy. It's the memoirs of an invincible man. Let my principles stand at attention, relieving tension in unmentionable dimensions. When I intertwine lines, coming straight to your mind. Smarter than I look with a hairdo like Einstein's. And if you are what you eat, then I'm an MC. Always on the hunt, so my plate is never empty. Don't even tempt me.
For I'm sentencing intensely.
In a sense, we are just like the universe.
Constantly expanding with no planning or rehearse.
We burst like Big Bang Theory. You can't hang
Your
me.
slanted slang's weary.
And late nights you fear the monsters in the attics. Rhyme schematics. Myself, you know who, and Buck too.
Yeah, you know it's me.
Laying down the beats while they hit up the poetry.
Poetry in commotion with notions more potent than any potions floating over oceans of sound waves with the sound that you crave. Poetry in commotion with notions more potent than any potions floating over oceans of sound waves with the sound that you crave. Not mixing quite properly with proper MC, so I promptly brought myself to the proper degree, twisted and shifted. About 180 I'm abnormal. So ease away silently, some philosophies are scarable. Too many horrible situations when I'm excavating. Brain manipulation with the toothpick amputation. Looking for fog condensation, clouding the mind with odd contemplations. But all one could find is the spineless spirit of sensation. This deviation strays away from destiny, laying the light in the tunnel for all to see. Accompany me on a journey into the unknown. Through states of misplaced fates where thoughts are blown. Home is my pillow and a blanket of a microphone. This fluid flowing fellow prone to probing earlobes with pronging poems of Doctor Who. It's the Borg, built by birth like Christ with more stories to pour. On board with the sword of words, torched upon the poor, posing practice participants. Prominence over partial materialistic permanence. Those varmints must learn sense to step on oblivious to the facts of the ridiculous, promiscuous, and hideous hand of some man. Picture us in the midst of less rebellious a land. Understand that you cannot muzzle this of madness, and understand this madness.
Poetry in commotion with notions more potent than any potions floating over oceans of sound waves with the sound that you crave. Poetry in commotion
with notions
more potent
than any potion floating
over oceans
of sound waves
with the sound
that you crave.
In the search for men who can endure being shot into space, the candidates are subjected to all kinds of torture, mental and physical.
Oral gathering, speech memorized to analyze the lies.
It's unseen, but right in front of your eyes.
See, everybody wants a taste.
You can't avoid the chase.
So I know where you stand when it's time to greet fate. Oral gathering, speech memorized to analyze the lies.
It's unseen, but right in front of your eyes.
See, everybody wants a taste.
You can't avoid the chase.
So I know where you stand when it's time to greet fate. Oral gathering, speech memorized to analyze the lies.
It's unseen, but right in front of your eyes.
Everybody wants a taste.
You can't avoid the chase.
So know where you stand
when it's time to greet fate.
Oral gatherings.
I might have sinned in my days. I fight to begin changing my ways. Strange things display a life set in stone. I've never met a throne and just might never, I bet, postpone actions. Share reactions with what I say, how I do it when I may ask why. A mass try at finding a conclusion, designing my inclusion in the world's evolution in which I pursue when I feel ungrateful. Do men understand my one stateful? On an undecided need to want, yet no greed haunts me. So seeds got me growing, enveloping the dismal wind blowing on my spine. So I'm flowing with the rhyme and throwing my mind in an undertowing of all humankind. And showing a real desperate need to find an adequate resource to feed the body's source. Hardly true, of course, you can't analyze your own lies. It's unknown wise information, so tone down your cries to figure out our creation. The power is stationed within your soul. Be patient and time might let you off parole. It's not impossible, Earth's constable is forgetful. And for centuries you should mention me. For your warrants apprehension, be prepared. You'll need perseverance to get there. Just forget where and take no direction. I set pairs of letters into piles and bet their assets. Cause I'm all smiles, so hopefully that's it.
In the search for men who can endure being shot into space, the candidates are subjected to all kinds of torture, mental and physical.
See, I'm a dreamscaper, a reality penetrator, an innovator, a thought to be a speech creator, the greater. Mass holes the way while you wait for food stamps on a Friday night day, hoping to find a compatible mate. See, time's moving at a radical rate, it seems magical in the state. Watch me blast off and explore the cosmos to meet the infinite, infinitely. Oh, will fall in the vision of my crystal ball, colliding with a common equivalent to a passive respect. Eruption, that barcode scan might be your price deduction. Run around with 3-6 on your head, eyes a little red on the path to self-destruction. Movements got to a minimum, visuals are distorted, and life seems invisible. But I gain power from the earth till I emerge the pinnacle. It's things you don't know that still remain invincible. Stained plain glass, souls and mirrors have shattered. With teardrops in the puddle, it creates a little wave and it's hard to get away. I said it's hard to run away, and it's hard to play the game of charades when you're eating a bowl of cereal filled with razor blades. It's a disaster to stay in silence. The two walks of a giant, sworn to eliminate defiance.
In the search for men who can endure being shot into space, the candidates are subjected to all kinds of torture, mental and physical. They're spun on a centrifuge till their eyeballs are squashed in. They're broiled in sweat boxes where the heat is raised to 200 degrees. They're locked alone for hours in a dark, tight room to see how they can take confinement and solitude.
I'm the Dragon Slayer, entering a Dragon's Lair style Messiah. Fighting fire with fire, the squire's taking you out and then making you doubt everything and all things, large and small things. When I'm in your proximity, I block symmetry and rock imagery, approximately twisted to the 100th percentile as I invent styles with words to slay all you birds of prey. What you heard me say has disturbed the way you normally perceive, attempting to achieve a higher state of awareness. And now, without reason, I tear this like on one, a horn on a tauntaun. I'll rip out your guts, no ifs, ands, or buts. You can't withstand the cuts, or even stand with us. You think you're scandalous, but you're just a troublemaker. I'm the bubble breaker. I detect rejects and deflect their defects. They get consumed, ingested in me, stuck in stomach acid showers indefinitely. And by the powers invested in me, I now pronounce, I denounce all tested MCs. Erase your poker face, cause Choke is ace of spades and a jack of all trades. All decks get played, and jokers get discarded, dealt with by the shuffler. All your resources are exhausted like a muffler. Idiosyncratic, can't step to the schematics. Cause we mess minds like stress lines with death run, then mesh time into a chosen form, where everybody else is in a frozen form. Prolong our existence in non-existence, where an entire eternity can be only an instant. And with voices in the distance, I inflict fear to your simplistic sphere, then disappear into thin air. I've been there, now I'm back again, jacking men like Kevorkian. They're regarded as retarded like Corkian. Life goes on, my pro spawn. Fatter stories in another category from the Toolshed laboratory. With natural ingredients always freshly made, rhyme schematics got the tools of the trade. Explosive like hydrogen, I arrive again. The pyro's home, past the Vaseline, gasoline, and styrofoam. I rip quotes and hit notes like xylophone as I roam and explore many more corridors which you choose to ignore. Therefore, I'm in control as my thoughts roll. Like rubber on granite, implanted on this planet by man's myth. I transmit more ancient than Sanskrit or artifacts. Coming with harder facts, I'll take your head and toss it into the verbal marsh pit. I am not a prophet, yet I profit from my constant yearning to keep on learning. Knowledge is power, information gets devoured, and so I cram my brain full until it's painful. Just like a damsel in distress, you're helpless and get depressed, mentally repressed when I ingest the relentless dementedness through my sentences. My inventiveness defeats extended fists. So fuck general consensus and censorship, cause I send more ships to the bottom through my rapping, and you'll go down with them if you think that you're the captain. I'm vicious and malicious with mischief. I dismiss kids on my hit list. Regardless who you claim to be, that whack shit sounds the same to me. Rhyming aimlessly as I aim to be more innovative than you insinuated when you stated hatred. I make kids think, untangling thought knots and absorbing like shark rock. So knock, knock, who is it? It's the exquisite, artistic misfit. I dismiss fits of rage as I flip the page. Chokeules got a disease, and when I touch the mic it spreads to all MCs. It's highly contagious and deadly in its final stages, tearing paragraphs in half with my phrases. Superior messages conveyed, displayed. Style Messiah's got the tools of the trade.
So many busy people minding their own, driving to work or on the way home. I see them rushing, and some take it slow. Some off to the mansion, some have nowhere to go. I watch them all, and I wonder why they act conscious until the day they die. Some are outgoing and some are so shy, without showing the fact that all of us cry. People that share one voice and rejoice as one ultimate being, it's all your choice. I feel so minuscule, seeing the minutes fool. People into being this race, T-I-M-E, makes your minds empty, erase your schedule. Let's all meld into one powerful tool. We can rule a galaxy and know all there is. Spread the word, get parents to tell their kids. Where did you learn your theories? Prepare amidst these lines is daily evolution, the solution to pollution. All the world's problems, we must reroute them to solve them. Don't mute them and dodge them, that just recruits and revolves them and makes them multiply. Businessmen wearing suits falsify, caring to troubleshoot daring acts. Calm down and start staring back at your past, barely at the beginning. Wearing sacks of lies, too many people attract to disguise, not reflecting them true selves. That affects my behavior towards you and what you do as well. Who the hell told you this is our only option? Cause in my head my physical structure's up for adoption. I ask myself questions like, why are we here? Without any progression, not even near.
So close to the truth, but it's just a theory. Ever since my youth, this world seems so eerie.
I travel the streets searching for wisdom, but I'm still a deadbeat in the universe's kingdom.
Boundaries I'm enclosed in and I can't overthrow them. Emotions on my own and I don't even know them.
Feelings make me feel and I feel sorta lost. I feel that we should have the new world order tossed.
Use your own discretion about the chip in your hand.
Fight against oppression,
make a solid stand.
Yeah.
My heart's been beating ever since I've been teething. It's the origin of rhythm, see me build with what's given. Yeah, that's called living. It's been there from the beginning, well, since the start of our existence, or even the planet for instance. Time is just a concept and our race is inept to break free of the realities that have been forced upon us. You perceive what you believe and rationalize to achieve a sense of sobriety. What's up with society controlling and molding us into plastic cast clones in neat little homes that all look the same where the beast has been tamed? To me it's insane that they want the world plain when in fact it remains infinite and intricate. Do you know when you're asleep or awake? The world seems so fake, no one gives, they just take. What's at stake? Your soul or a roll of the dice from fate? Too late, don't make a mistake, clean the slate, start to create a positive state of being. We're just beings like any other on great Mother Earth. If you feel that your worth is somehow greater, I'm here to deflate ya. Realize that nature wasn't created for us and could easily bust if we keep playing rough. I've had enough of the lust and trust in me, the future I see. Could be that we are free in our ways. I can't count the days I've witnessed ignorance. I'm just a life form that avoids the norm as the world is torn for poets more.
I ask myself questions like, why are we here? Without any progression, I'm not even near.
So close to the truth, but it's just a theory. Ever since my youth, this world seems so eerie.
I travel the streets, searching for wisdom, but I'm still a deadbeat in the universe's kingdom.
Boundaries I'm enclosed in and I can't overthrow them. Emotions of my own and I don't even know them.
Feelings make me feel, and I feel sort of lost. I feel like we should have the New World Order tossed.
Use your own discretion, bound that ship in your hand.
Fight against oppression,
make it so it stands. Boundaries I'm enclosed in and I can't overthrow them. Emotions of my own and I don't even know
It was a deep dark night in the depths of the lab, with our dimly lit lights and attention that couldn't be stabbed. My tongue hung twisted, I couldn't concentrate or relax, frozen in the chosen moment for a scientist gone mad. A chill swept down the hall and crept into my room. Distant laughter echoed his call with the feeling of doom. Now do I run or do I fall? All my thoughts were costume. So I stared and stood tall, as silent as the moon. With no focus I motion, thoughtless as meiosis, and began forming a potion with no plans or a motive, composed of metal scraps and shrapnels of visuals. Unbeknownst did I know I was forming an individual inside mine. That's where I'd find this other little mind tumoring off my spine. Now I don't see a problem with one human but two kinds. But who you think you're fooling when you're dueling with the rhyme? Chime the bells, let the battle of the brains begin. It was a sign to compromise and rewrite the lines of my life. Collide the animal with the mechanical, maintaining inside its drive with inside. Outside him seem to be out of sight. Ride the rolling wave, engrave on the path I paved. A man is much wiser when he feels his own way. Ride the rolling wave, engrave on the path I paved. A man is much wiser when he feels his own way. Hum the pigment of light that the eye cannot see. Hum the vision of right that only few will dare to dream. Hum the fall that ends the life from the 12th floor balcony. I'm the will and the might that allows any person to be free. I'm the pinched nerve that sets the psycho on a spree. And I'm the verb for all the words that are lost in history. And I'm the nerve that's gone absurd when the computer keys freeze. And I'm the curve in a bender splurge and knocks a man to his knees. I'm the line that shouldn't be crossed, and I'm the time that won't be lost. And I'm the crime that can't be caught, and I'm the man that can't be stopped. And I'm the chains that are on the lock, and I'm the fame that was forgotten. I'm the hazer from a frost, and I'm the rays you never got. I'm the craze you can hold, and I'm the days when it's cold. And I'm the praise and the scold, and I'm the ways of the old. It's the T, it's double O-L-S-H-E-D. It's the T, it's double O-L-S-H-E-D. It's the T, it's double O-L-S-H-E-D. It's the T, double O-L-S-H-E-D. It's the T, double O-L-S-H-E-D. It's the T, double O-L-S-H-E-D. Double O-L-S-H-E-D. Ride the rolling wave, engrave on the path I paved. Till man is much wiser when he feels his own way. I got eyes in my grave where they trade souls to be saved. Leave the gold in the cage and control your role in the day. It's the Cybo solo sideshow of the Psybo. Now now that I'm inside myself, to find my health, the plane is scarping his chisel as my brain is sharpened like a rhino, south of vinyl, spouting this rhyme belts. Don't be disregarding as he's marching to the bombardment, lost to the prophecies of some mobbing. I'm the barbershop of shaman, a smidgen or a trimming of these little blades in the Everglades of the forgotten, a victim of the unwritten trade. When the shears are made to shave away the rotten, and the hollow may follow the money if your pride is small enough to swallow. Grab it in the bottle and save us, wait for later. Also you may save for the taste and pay for the place to chase the path of the parading trend propelled by my paragraphs of the Psybo solo, sliding solo beneath the ground. So I speak through sounds that reaches down to the beard of the eardrum. It's a fearsome habit, a rabid rhythmic rabbit, a rhyme schematic. Who's had it with the whack shit so the bloodshed may be drastic. Plastic personality sums up some personas. I'm alone with three other zoners, completely in control of the motions of the madness. I'm sort of a surreal donor, giving Jones those diplomas of approval till I toast the coma. Noah packed his ship, but we can only fit these four beasts who feast on lack of sleep and excavate the plot to seek. Watching filtered lives spiraling through the days, watching you try to escape when your path has already been paved. When your path has already been paved, ride the rolling wave. Your grave on the path unpaved. A man is much wiser when he feels his own way. I got eyes in my grave, will they trade souls to be saved? Leave the gold in the cage, control your own the day. Ride the rolling wave, your grave on the path unpaved. A man is much wiser when he feels his own way. I got eyes in my grave, will they trade souls to be saved? Leave the gold in the cage, and control your own the day.
one moment after the next. This moment will be lost, leave my footprints in the sand, but soon they will be washed away with the waves as the tides turn. And if I could share one thing that I've learned, it's that wasting time is just a waste of time. We all need space to find some kind of peace of mind.
Life is a crazy twist. If you blink for a second, then a second is missed. Right now I'm 20 and I ain't getting younger. I feel I've learned plenty and it just makes me wonder, what will MC Barco be like when I'm 83? Will I still be rocking rhymes or subdue to old age slavery? Regardless of what happens, I'll keep an honest approach, cause I'm a participant on this planet with time as my coach.
Hold on, wait a second, it's impossible, I reckon. Regardless of your mind state, it's obvious that time waits for no man. To make plans as my awareness expands, I beware that the sands of the hourglass are falling fast.
Seconds to minutes, hours to days, weeks to months, years to decades. Seconds to minutes, hours to days, present to the past as time passes away. Stay up all night and go to sleep with the moon. Waste the day away into the late afternoon. Sleep for at least 10 hours or more. I will have slept a decade by the time I'm 24. Then I wake up and watch a movie that's whack. There's 2 hours of my life that I'll never get back.
Yesterday was another day and tomorrow will be too. Every day is an adventure in which we ensue. The issue is that the life cycle repeats. Every day is an adventure that defeats itself. It's self-explanatory, man, it bores me, but you know what? I'm still interested. I feel that everything I do is time well invested.
Being a few years younger gives me a bit more time to ponder the mysteries of how we be and are existing, resisting death that's persisting, inflicting misery. But it's not wasted energy if what we produce is quality.
Never a chance to relax in this land of mine. Always being pushed forward by the hands of time. It's a positive thing being forced to grow, cause every day I learn things I thought that I'd never know. As the world turns, boys and girls learn. Some reach the highest planes and some crash and burn. Someday I may be rich or poverty stricken, but either way, time keeps on ticking.
Success, the thing that everybody tries to achieve, but your fate is decided on the web that you weave. So start spinning, or you'll quickly see an ending. Cause if you don't, you'll never feel the sensation of winning.
What goes around comes around, and if my time's up, then it must come down. Whether you're the peasant or the one who wears the crown, we eventually all end up in the ground. At any given moment you could be near death. It's just one of life's components, so don't fear death. Tonight I recite rhymes in the Toolshed, but tomorrow morning I could wake up dead and be out of sight, but never out of mind. And now I gotta go because I'm out of time.
Statistically, I've got lots of time, but realistically, even as I write these lines, I hear the relentless chime as the clock strikes 9. I'm slipping. The world keeps flipping on its axis like rotisserie, while I practice the art of inquisity as the years are expended. Your death is intended, no time to lose. You must infuse it with intensity. Before you fade out gradually, I'll wind up in swift tragedy.
Today it's Toolshed, tomorrow a shed of tools. Living with the wife and kids, owning my own house and a pool. But maybe I'll remain a bachelor, living grand with 10 women at a time, laying in the beach sand. Maybe I'll be famous and own a big chunk of land, or I could resort to pushing drugs and illegal contraband, cause only time will tell, time will tell.
Things change or don't stay the same, and everybody wants somewhere to lay the blame. What some say is progress, others say is useless. Some of us want to know what the truth is, or what the future is going to bring. Others only wish for material things, but living isn't sweating how much money you're getting, when in less than 10 seconds it could be Armageddon. Seconds to minutes, hours to days, weeks to months, years to decades. Seconds to minutes, hours to days, present to the past as time passes away. is the omnidextrous text perfection, as if the question is, who's wrecking this? So flexing his inventiveness. Chances are the answers are in front of your face. I green mics at the speed limit, I'm running the pace. I can't ever slow down, cause I'm on the lowdown. And if you wanna throw down, then we can have a showdown. Cause no clown in your town is fit to work this circus. You don't even know what the meaning of berserk is. I'm just some perverted, well-worded, absurd kid. Straight to the point, so I know that you heard it. Yo, what's the verdict? I admit that I'm guilty. If the charge is having a mind that is filthy, not your average carbon-based life form. Prepared to do my own thing, say fuck the norm. And they structured form, and I will not conform. From dusk till dawn, I'm triple X like porn. It's the shit I've been on ever since I've been born. I was forewarned by a four-horn uniformed unicorn that I must transform.
Turning from world to world dimensions are apprehended. On this stairway to heaven, believing achievements is complimented. Surrender thy soul, the rip the toll and pay the price to understand the role. You must understand the advice. Roll the dice, take those chances on our life and death. Captain Roulette reflects respect and intellect. And throws to introspect, induce nothing. A chef of concept directs the conducting, constructing. Growing intellects that stand intact, begin corrupting. The energy was the force that contorts imagery to something. Dip deep into that thought well and think well roughly. The blueprints of the last links to the beats full of soul. Rhymes entail genitals and the yellow spines of the cynical individuals of all those simple molds. Worshipping health, hoping Greek gives health immunity. Are fruitlessly rerouting a restless destiny. But Earth's equilibrium I must stand tall. So the vision of man on Emit land must fall. But the Earth's equilibrium must stand tall. So the vision of man putting up all these walls must fall.
Dark and stormy was the night, pathetic fallacy for fright. And the only source of light was when the storm clouds ignite. Through the rain could be seen at a clearing by the streams. Mental patience as they scream and worship things unseen. They call it an entity, shadow-like with extremities. And sacrilegious ministers hold sacrifices sinister. A baby goat slit throat, beyond all hope. Disemboweled a chicken while his heart was still digging. It's something very vague but no less grave. Something inspecific but utterly horrific. Evil power objects can evil gag reflex. Medieval anal sex and druids spew fluid at Stonehenge's ruins. I was trapped in cocoons from my childhood years with personified fears. And giant tarantulas inhabited Canada, migrated from Panama. So see where you stand on that altered food chain. I kidnapped the sane to feed on their brains so they don't feel any pain.
Bashing B-brains to mash things. He gains these strange side effects quickly, but remains calm and regains deranged vaults of the pain like a slug and salt. The name is Barcode. My head's distributing ideas by the bulk. See Hulk pick up rock, puts it down gently to prove that I'm not mentally dependent of the interdependent. Sentimentally the defender as the defendant. Sender of rendered cash experimentally. The results were tallied as trash. The pendant around my neck give a psionic blast. Your mic's in check and your career's in the past. I'd like you to accept all of your fears and be in a class of your own. You'll love your tone when you pour a poem or explore and roam around this world more than a clone. It's foreign affairs with me and pouring their stairs, restoring careless pairs and values of less than my share. But how do you allow new people to interrupt the toolshed? I overcrowd you. What we now do will make you think how you react. You sink to the bottom cause your life is an act.
To those who suffer from boredom, I got the answers for them. Step into a forum and you'll see results. And why we forum this MC cult. The fault is never mine, wonder will I ever find the time to shine like all these sane folks. Lately I've been thinking maybe my brain's broke. All I do is chain smoke, walk up to total strangers, say how my name's show. Johnny Depp just in time, just insane Jalen Pine, and I'm made of mind. Matter, data, soul and body. Spending my existence in a stolen body. Give you karate crane kicks in your pain quick. Roundhouse to uppercut, then a rain check. An IOU in case you're DOA. You RIP, but not me, no way. I stomp enemies like an elephant. I am okay, you are irrelevant. Incompetent, domesticated competition. If you can't take the heat, then get back in the kitchen. Penny MCs get tossed in my wishing well. I never talk about your moms, I don't kiss and tell.
All the warriors of wisdom up to the podium. They're here, the monsters eroding them, exposing sane, controlling the limb links, lumbered limbs. The break in the breeze, the winds of change simplicities into realistic dreams of complex nexus of emotion. Devoting explosions to unloading the premise of the motion. Submerge into the flow of the notion. Let the foreign guides guide the commotion. Toolshed source of the stars, getting ready for DEFCON 4. And it's a twisted organ, a side order of the cyborg.
coat my hands with powder like Tara Lipinski. Don't bend to power like Monica Lewinsky. This is DEFCON 4 with a corpse beneath the floor. In suspended animation, risk of contamination. Twisted, linguistic, mystic, lyricistic, fibrosis invades the system with no chance of remission. Your shots keep on missing while the shed's on a mission. We're coming to your locality regardless of the legality. We'll shape your view of reality and rape your pure mentality. 6'4" like Lurch, member of the church of the half moon baboon. There's a chapter coming soon, so please stay tuned. I hope you dig these tunes.
4 cracker monkeys monkeying around, jumping on the bed when one fell down. Bumped his head when he hit the ground. Now the little monkey's hearing a slight ringing sound. The monkey starts crying when his mom started yelling. His dad didn't give a fuck cause he's a heartless felon. The mom grabbed the band-aid that was handmade, put it on the cup but the adhesive never stayed. Temper tantrum from the tiny injured mammal. He grew a lump on his head like the hump on a camel. The monkey's in a coma now with a bad case of amnesia. Seizures threaten his every breathing second. The leisure life that he used to live is gone. The second release is done as Toolshed moves on. Toolshed would like to thank all those who contributed to Lyricistic Fibrosis, whether musician, artist, or otherwise, and anyone that derived some enjoyment from listening.
We'd also like to send a huge shout out to all members of Organic Aftermath, past or present, and to anyone who came and checked out the live shows. Thanks a lot for supporting the Toolshed. Lyricistic Fibrosis. Lyricistic Fibrosis.